Hi, I'm Desi Cerna, professional guitar teacher specializing in teaching guitar theory. I help students learn how to apply music theory to the guitar fretboard. And in this free guitar lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play the introduction to my video, the CAGED template chord system. That's the piece that I just played. The CAGED template chord system DVD covers how guitar players build chord shapes on the fretboard. And in that video you learn about arpeggio patterns, chord inversions, and chord voicings, and different chord fingerings, and so on. And that video covers a lot of information, but I never actually taught the introduction. I just began and ended the video with it. So now I'm going to break that down for you and show you exactly what I played. Now, before you begin, I do recommend that you have learned the CAGED template chord system, because I'm not going to be teaching it here in this video. I'm going to walk you through what I played, and I'm going to assume that you understand the system and you understand the chord forms and all that stuff. So the CAGED template chord system is taught in my DVD. It is also in my book, Fretboard Theory, Chapter 3. So it's covered completely in that chapter. And Fretboard Theory is a complete guitar theory course which covers scales and chords, chord progressions, guitar modes, and more. And it fills in all the gaps in between those topics as well. So if you're looking to learn more about music theory, guitar music theory, and you're hoping to learn more about the fretboard and learning how to navigate the fretboard with chords and scales, and you want to learn how different musical elements are combined and how they go together for composing or improvising, then Fretboard Theory would be a good book for you. So, okay, let's get started, and make sure you're tuned up. I mean, I'm tuned to 440 standard tuning here. And to begin with, I just want to show you what this progression is based on, playing common open chords first. And then I'll go back and I'll actually teach you the specific inversions or chord voicings that I used. So we're going to start here in the open position. And the first half of the chord progression is A, E, A, D. A, E, A, D, finger it however you want for now. I'll talk about the way that I specifically play it in a minute. And then just rehearse this and memorize it, okay? So A, E, A, D. A, E, A, D. A, E, A, D. That's the first half. And then the second half is actually the same thing minus one chord. A, E, A, that's it. So the second half is just simply A, E, A. A, E, A. All right, so let's put them together. It's going to be A, E, A, D, A, E, A. A, E, A, D, A, E, A. A, Again, just rehearse that and memorize it. You can pause this video if you need to and practice on your own for a couple minutes. Okay, now we're going to break this down to the way that I specifically played it. And this is what we're going to do. You're only going to fret the chord notes on strings 2, 3, and 4. All right? So with the A chord, you're only going to fret strings 2, 3, and 4, which, by the way, is all you fret anyway with an A chord. Now when you go to the E chord, you're only going to fret strings 2, 3, and 4, which means you only want these three notes, right? And also what you're going to do throughout this whole progression, you will always skip the 6th string. If the 6th string is part of any of the chord shapes we're using, you're going to skip it every time. And you're always going to play the 5th string open. So the 5th string open, the fifth string will remain open on every chord. So for this E chord shape, you're going to have to lift your finger off of the 5th string because you want the 5th string to be open. And because, remember, you should only be fretting strings 2, 3, and 4. And then the 1st string is going to be completely omitted throughout this whole progression and in each position. So these little rules here I'm laying down, only fretting the notes on strings 2, 3, and 4, keeping the 5th string open, and omitting the 1st string. These rules are going to apply to every chord shape in every position as we go through this whole part. Okay? Let's zoom in so you can get a closer look at how these chord forms are changed. Okay, so the A isn't really changed much. You know, you can fret it the same. You're just going to omit the 1st string. But the E chord is going to be changed. You have to take your finger off the 5th string. You want the 5th string open, and then omit the 1st string. And you're left with just that. So A, E, and then for the D chord, we're going to use a different voicing. We're going to use a different form. Instead of using a D form, we're going to use a C form. Right? Here's my pinky on D. This is the C form bar chord that you should know. And the 5th string's going to be open. We're going to omit the 1st string. It's not going to be played at all, so we're left with just these 3 notes. And this shape goes together well with an A, especially when you bar the A with your index finger. So I'm actually going to fret my A like this. And then I just do the E with 2 fingers like that. Since I don't have to do the whole thing, it's easier just to do this. So the progression is A, E, A, D, and this is specifically how I finger it. A, E, A, D. A, E, A, D. So you might want to take a minute and rehearse that yourself. Then you can finish it up A, E, A. A, E, A, D, A, E, A. Here's the whole thing again. And one more thing to add to this, you can actually, with your right hand, pedal, like a pedal tone, on the open A string, and then hit the chord. So this completes the progression in the 1st position. Now we're going to move to a new position, and we are going to reproduce the same progression and the same chords, but using new chord forms, using new inversions or voicings. Okay, so here is the next position, and I'm going to show you the chord shapes. I'm going to use the full chord shapes first, and then I'll break it down to the pieces that I'm actually using. So here's an A. 5th fret string 6. That's an E form bar chord. Here's an E. 7th fret string 5. This is a C form bar chord. Then you go back to A. And then here's a D. 5th fret string 5. This is an A form bar chord. So the progression is A, E, A, D. A, E, A, D. And then we're going to apply the same changes. We're only going to fret the notes on strings 2, 3, and 4. The fifth string will remain open. The sixth string isn't used at all. And the first string isn't used at all. So this A, when we break it down, becomes simply, that's all that's left of this shape. I put the open fifth string in there. A. Now check this out, this is slick. If you just move this down 1 fret and then have your first 2 fingers just swap strings, there's your E, right? Because here's the whole thing, the C4 bar chord, there's your root E. But you're only going to play strings 2, 3, and 4. So here's the A. Then just scoot down a fret, have your first 2 fingers swap strings, E. Back to A, and then the D chord, you're only going to play strings 2, 3, and 4. Here they are right here. So A, E, A, D. Take a minute to rehearse this and memorize it. A, E, A, D. And remember, you can pedal on the open A string. Then you can finish it off A, E, A. Here's the whole thing. A, E, A, D, A, E, A. Once you get comfortable with this position, go back and make sure you haven't forgotten the first position. A, E, A, D, A, E, A. And then the next position, A, E, A, D, A, E, A. You might want to spend a few minutes, in each position. You don't have to just play through it once. Okay, now we're going to move to a new position, and we're going to duplicate the same progression with the same chords, but based on new chord forms, creating new chord voicings. All right, this is going to start on A, 12th fret, string 5. If you put your pinky on that, you can play a C form bar chord. So that's A. And then you've got E, 12th fret, string 6. If you put your pinky on that, you could play part of a G form bar chord. So there's E in this position. So you've got A, E, A, A, E, A. Then here's D, 10th fret, string 6. That's a common E form bar chord. So A, E, A, D. A, E, A, D. And now let's break this up. All right, you're only going to fret strings 2, 3, and 4. So this A becomes simply skip the 2 E strings, play the 5th string open. There's your A. And then the E chord can be played just by simply barring right here with your index finger. Remember, the E is part of the G chord, G form. You only want to play strings 2, 3, and 4. Skip the E's, put the open 5th string in there. So here's the A. In fact, when you play the A, just go ahead and bar because and then you can just lift these fingers off for the E and put them right back for the A. A, E, A. Let's try that again. A, E, A. Then here's your D. Only play strings 2, 3, and 4. So you've got A, E, A, D. A, E, A, D. Then you can finish it off A, E, A. The whole thing is A, E, A, D, A, E, A. Then it repeats. Actually, I only play it once in each position, but you can repeat it as you practice it. And then pedal on the A string. So work with this for a while on your own until you're comfortable playing it and you've got it memorized. Then you want to go back and make sure you have not forgotten the other positions. So here's position 1. Next position. New position. And as you rehearse, you can stick in one position for a short while and repeat it, And then just move to the next one when you're ready. And so on. You don't have to play this fast if you can't keep up with the tempo I'm playing at. Just play it slower. Okay, there's one more position to cover, and that will complete this part. And this new position is up here, by the 12th fret, and it's actually just what you played in the open position, duplicated exactly 1 octave higher. So remember, down in the open position, you had A, E. Well, up here, here's A at the 12th fret, string 5, right? And then here's E at the 12th fret, string 6. And when you break these two chord shapes down to just strings 2, 3, and 4, you get. So this is going to look and feel a little bit different because you don't have the open strings to utilize, but it is the same actually. A, E, here's where the open string is. So up here, A, E, A. Whoops. And actually when I go back to A, I grab it with my index finger. That way I can go to the D. Because remember down here, A, E, A, then you just add these fingers for D. Well, you can do the same thing up here. A, E, index finger plays A, add your fingers for D. A, E, A, D. And then A, E, A. A, E, A, D, A, E, A. And then pedal on the 5th string. By the way, if you're playing an acoustic guitar, you may have a hard time reaching up for that D. This guitar is actually a very thin-bodied guitar, and it's cut away here. So that makes it easier for me to reach up here and access these frets. On a normal acoustic guitar, you may not be able to reach this high. You could still play this part. You might want to just cut it short and just end in this position, or perhaps using what you have learned from the CAGED template chord system, maybe you can find some other ways to play it where you don't have to reach up here so high. All right, once you get this final position down, then you can put the whole thing together. Next position. Next position. Final position. And remember, as you rehearse, you can, stay in one position for a while just to give your fingers plenty of opportunity to get used to playing the shapes in each position. All right, let me play this one more time for you. I'll play this up to tempo as I did at the very beginning of this video. Okay, so that's basically it. That completes the introduction to my video, the CAGED template chord system. That's just how I played it. And this is a great little way to apply what you learned in that video. Take a simple progression. This progression is actually just a 3-chord progression. And isn't it interesting that I get all this sound in all these different positions out of the same 3 chords? This is really the benefit and the power of learning the CAGED template and understanding how chord shapes are used on the fretboard. So you could take any progression, doesn't have to be A, E, and D. You could take a G, C, D chord progression or any type of simple chord progression and break it up. Instead of playing all the strings, just play a couple of strings. 2, 3, and 4 work really well and is very common on the guitar. And then just go through and work out that same progression in different positions using the different forms from the CAGED system. Now, I do not have tab for this. I get a lot of email. People ask me if I have tab for some of my online videos. I don't have tab for this, and I don't plan on making it for a reason. Rather than focusing on the fret numbers and the tab, if you really want to get good, if you really want to understand guitar theory and learn how to navigate the fretboard, it's critical that you are able to visualize these chord forms on your own and see how these specific voicings stem from these chord shapes. So I really think this is something that you really just need to physically play and visualize on the fretboard on your own, as opposed to using the tab. I'm not against tab. I'm just saying that as a guitar theory study, it's better for you to sit down and work this out on your own with my instruction here, of course, than it is to just dwell on fret numbers. So I'm Desi Cerna. Thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this free guitar lesson. If you'd like some more information on me, including my books and DVDs, or you just want to find some more free content that I have posted on the internet, just Google search my name, Desi Cerna, D-E-S-I-S-E-R-N-A, or you can visit my website directly at guitar-music-theory.com. That's guitar music theory with dashes in between the words. If you have any comments or questions about this lesson, you can email me from my website. I actually read all my email and I do respond to all questions. So thanks again. Have a great day.